Mad Sports Radio, The Gang Green Report with Mike DeMurgis and Rob Carpenter.
Mike DeMurgis here with Rob Carpenter for week one of the Gang Green Report under the new regime of Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson. And let's welcome in Rob Carpenter. How do you assess Zach's performance in week one despite the 19-14 loss, Rob?
I think he played pretty good overall. It was a rough first half for him, but when they went in at halftime and made the adjustments that they needed to make, I think he came out and performed well under, the amount of pressure that he was under for the whole day. I was just happy that he actually didn't get flustered and he just kept his mind in the game and just did what he had to do.
I got real worried there when he took that hit late in the game, his sixth sack of the game. It looked like a concussion there. And they talked about, Zach hasn't been hit yet. Well, he got sacked 6 times. So
right.
If he hasn't been hit yet, he's been hit already now.
I mean, if you watched him last season at BYU when they played that Coastal Carolina game, they beat him up pretty good. So the kid is tough. And I was just hoping, like I said previously, that when he did get hit, he just, didn't get flustered, kept his mind in the game, he just moved on to the next play. And, he seemed to do that pretty well. I mean, the kid was taking hits, 6 sacks in your first start, that's pretty rough. But, he seemed to come through pretty well. He kept his mind in the game. And, late in the game, he threw that second touchdown. And, if I think the defense would have gotten a stop, you might have seen a minor miracle happen, if the defense could have stopped Carolina on that third down.
You have experience playing with a rookie quarterback as Bruce Coslet decided to go in 1992 with the veteran Ken O'Brien, who, by the way, was sacked 62 times in 1985 and was the top-rated quarterback in the NFL. So how about for that stat? But by 1992, his career started to fade a little bit. And Bruce Jets went 5-0 in the preseason, and it always resolves for me with Browning Nagel. I can't get that out of my soul that, the first game against the Falcons, played a good game, but the Jets lost that game. But the season unfolded after that as the team went 4-12. So what are the things that you looked at as a former wide receiver and what you saw in Zach Wilson, if you could pinpoint a few things that you noticed in his game, besides obviously going his stats 20-37 for 258 yards and 2 touchdowns?
One of the good things that I did see is that he didn't start looking around and start paying attention to the rush. He stayed in the pocket for the most part as much as he could. I mean, he used his athletic ability to get out when he needed to, which was quite often. But, for the most part, he stayed in the pocket. He went through his progressions. As a rookie, you expect rookies to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. He's going to hold the ball a little longer than he should. Once he actually gets, a good grasp of everything that's going on the offense, you'll see him limit those mistakes of holding on to the ball a little bit and start, dumping the ball off to his quick hots to eliminate some of the hits that he was taking and some of the hits that he will take. But, for the most part, like I said, he performed, up to par for me. I didn't think the team was going to, come out, blazing, guns blazing, anything like that. I figured it was going to be a little bit of a struggle because I knew the Panthers defense was actually pretty good. So, when they made the adjustments at halftime, he came out in the second half. It looked like, they got in tune with what they wanted to do on offense, and, he performed pretty well.
The Jets offensive line gave up the 6 sacks. As we talked about in 1988, Dan Marino was only sacked 6 times all season. So the Jets gave up as many sacks as the 1988 Miami Dolphins did. Sam Darnold was sacked 98 times in his 3-year career with the New York Jets. Now an injury to Mekhi Becton. How concerned should we be about the Jets? They couldn't get anything going on the ground as well. And certainly a running game helps a young quarterback. How concerned should we be about the offensive line that was supposed to be much improved from past seasons?
Well, if you talk to anybody, you'll know that the defense is always ahead of the offense at the beginning of the season for the most part. And especially when you have a new regime, young quarterback, it's going to take a little while for them to gel. And the offensive line is the last unit that actually takes the longest to gel. And when you have these changes that are going on the offensive line, guys were out during training camp. Mekhi missed some time during training camp. Moses came in late. Fent was moving from right to left. Guys are just moving all over the place. But from this point on, I think, they know Mekhi's going to be out for a while. I think it's 4 to 6 weeks. Fant had to move from right to left. It seemed though in the second half, the second part of the game when after Mackay went out, that a little continuity came in when Morgan Moses came into the game playing right tackle. Because immediately when he came in the game, they started running the ball behind him. And I think the first play behind him, I think Ty Johnson took for 10 yards in the first down. So, and I think he'll bring a little stability to the O line. It was a little bit of a head scratcher why he actually didn't get to start initially, at right tackle. But, a Fant moving over to the left, for the most part, I think that's a better side for him. It seems as though in the preseason when he was on the left, he played better. And yesterday he kind of stabilized the unit a little when he moved over to the left side. But moving forward, hopefully these guys can stay injury free on the offensive line because it's all about communication up there. If those guys aren't communicating well on the offensive line, making the checks that they need to make, especially with the rookie quarterback, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough going for the rest of the season, but hopefully they can get that worked out and get the communication together. And because there's going to be a lot of stunts, and I saw from preseason, even yesterday, those guys are having a little bit of trouble picking up the TE twists and the stunts on the inside. So, when they watch the film, hopefully they get that together and can wash that away.
The Jets in their history really never had a quarterback that could run outside the pocket and make plays. And we saw that with Wilson yesterday. You go back, Vinny Testaverde, Ken O'Brien, Joe Namath, Richard Todd, Pat Ryan, even Chad Pennington. They never really had a quarterback that had a guy that could go out of the pocket, run right or left, and have that strong an arm. Right. So this certainly creates an opportunity for the offense. What would you like to see in week 2? The offense kind of run plays that could keep move him out of the pocket and be safe.
I would like to see a few RPOs with him actually throwing the ball down the field, because that will keep the pass rush off of him. That will keep the linebackers actually, stable for a moment, and he can get a quick read down the field, even if it's just an RPO for a quick pass to a tight end. It seemed as though, he has a good rapport with the tight ends already. We've seen it. We saw that in the preseason. We saw that yesterday because, he was hitting the tight ends in the flat, and the tight ends on quick outs. So he has a good deal with the tight ends already. And as you said, I would like to see them get him on the move just a little bit to keep him away from the rush. Even some quick rollouts. Hold the tight ends in for extra blockers. Have the backs in for extra blockers just to keep him clean. Because if he continues to take those hits, as the season goes on, my concern is that he starts, looking around at the rush. As of now, he's not. And it seems that as though, he knows he has the escapability to get away from the rush at times because he's a good athlete. We saw that in college. We saw that yesterday. We saw that during the preseason. And, his first touchdown, he escaped the pocket. He hit Corey Davis. He actually did it early in the game where he had Davis going down the sidelines again. He just overthrew him just a bit. But, if those things continue to happen, it's going to be a good deal for him moving forward. And it might help out the O-line himself.
Besides the victory, would you see from Sam Darnold that you did not see with the New York Jets in 3 seasons of misery?
Well, he was clean. For the most part, the pocket was clean for him. He didn't take a whole lot of hits. It seems as though yesterday he had a good rapport with DJ Moore. I actually thought that it would probably be more of him and Robbie. Because since Robbie was his actually, safety blanket when he was here. But I think you'll probably see that as the season goes on because I think he knows that Robbie's always there for him. But for the most part, it looked like Sam was actually going through his reads. He looks like he has a pretty good grasp on the offense. And it's always good when you have a guy like, Christian McCaffrey back there that you can get the ball to at any time, in space, and he can make things happen and keep you ahead of the yard marker. So, that worked out well for him. But, when it came to crunch time, he made some plays, but he reverted back to some of the things that Sam would do every now and then while he was here. But, I think moving forward, he'll be all right.
Yeah, it's been some time since the Jets had a dynamic back. I guess really going back to Curtis Martin and before that, Johnny Hector and Freeman McNeil, those right. guys out of UCLA. It's been some time since the Jets had dynamic plays like that. How do you grade Robert Saleh, his first game as head coach of the New York Jets? It's better than Adam Gase, at least, right? At least we could see him in the press conference wanting to speak to the media, not with the mask and the hat covering the eyes, kind of looking like he's robbing a bank.
I mean, the one thing I like about Saleh is the fact that, you know, he takes charge and he takes ownership of everything that's going on in the field. You know, after the game, he'll take responsibility for everything that happened on the field. I saw him making adjustments on the field. And as he said, it's not the amount of yards that you give up, it's the amount of points. So if you can keep the other team to a limited amount of points and give your offense a chance to win the game, you can do that. And he did that. I was a little surprised early in the game because I'm pretty sure he's in with the defense and going over everything as far as the game plan goes. I was a little surprised early in the game that they were actually putting so much pressure on Sam, because it seems like they were blitzing on every play. And you know, the Panthers held up well to it. But the one thing that bodes well, the fact that he did put so much pressure on, is the fact that the young DBs actually played well. They held their own out there for the most part. You know, those guys made plays out there. Michael Carter made plays, you know, that I like to see. And I think he was looking for that, looking to see if those guys actually stepped up. Because when you know you're in man-to-man and you have to make a play, you know, all eyes are on you. So, you know, he put the pressure on, and I think he's going to continue to put the pressure on the veteran guys that are there, like Mosley, John Fletcher Myers, those guys like that, to you know, keep the young guys in tune with what's going on. But, you know, I think moving forward, you know, it looks like he has a good grasp of what he wants to do, what he wants to put in. And I'm all for it, man. You know, it's a pleasant change, even though the outcome didn't come out like we wanted to yesterday. But it seems like it's a pleasant change moving forward.
Week 2, taking on the Patriots at home. Will you be in the house to welcome the new son of the New York Jets? And your former teammates like Anthony Becht and other players that you hang out with? Was there a text exchange going on around between you guys?
No, for the most part, everybody had said early in the year that they were going to the first game, their first home game. So, you know, it's just anticipated that most of the guys that usually do step in the building will be there unless they have, you know, prior engagements, you know, with TV or something like that. But I fully expect the guys that said that previously they would be there. They're going to be there. And one of the rookie guys is going to get their first win this weekend. You know, hopefully it's Wilson in green and white.
All right. Well, let's hope it's the New York Jets and they get that first win, get that win under the belt. For Zach Wilson. At least it's exciting. It's a coach we can relate to. It's been a miserable 3 years because the last couple of years actually with Todd Bowles were pretty bad. And Adam Gase is just no one really understands that move. So at least it's something to look forward to at the very least. Every week, catch me and Rob Carpenter for the Gang Green Report. Thank you so much, Rob.
All right. Have a good one, Mike.